It's the 20th anniversary of the iconic Christmas tradition that has brought holiday cheer into homes year after year. Of course, I'm talking about the elf on the shelf. And joining us now are co-CEOs and founders of the Lumistella Company and the Visionaries behind the elf on the shelf, Chanda A and Christa Pitts. Hi, ladies. How are you?
We're well. Good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to speak with you more about this amazing holiday tradition that, of course, families have been partaking in for 20 years now. So let's start with this. How did the idea and vision for Elf on the Shelf initially come into existence?
So the Elf on the Shelf that people know today is really based on our own family tradition. And so when we were growing up, my mom told us that the elf was watching for Santa Claus, and every night he would fly back to the North Pole and, of course, give the good report because we were excellent
We were
children.
amazing
Well,
children.
Amazing
Yes.
children. And then in the morning, we would race each other out of bed to try to be the first one to spot the elf who had landed in a different spot in the house. And so for us, it was the most magical part of our childhood. And so when I grew up, I was a former school teacher, and I was having tea with my mom one day, which I love that story. It's like we have tea all the time. But anyway, I look up and I see our elf sitting on a shelf, the one that we grew up with. And I said, Mom, we should ask for Santa's permission to share this story. And so we started writing that night and spent about a year writing what would become the Elf on the Shelf. And of course, Santa has to send the elves, but we wrote a book and packaged it together with a kit and beat all the odds. Nobody wanted to publish it. And so we had to start our own publishing company. And here we are 20 years later.
Here we are. That's insane. What a cool backstory there. Now, kind of expanding on that, why do you think it's continually resonated with families year after year?
I think it's because it's simplicity. Right? Everyone is bombarded with all of these electronic messages, and you're supposed to be here and there, and everything is so almost over scheduled. And I think one of the things that makes the Elf on the Shelf timeless is it's not your latest fad. It's not the most expensive thing you'll ever purchase, but it's evergreen. It's going to be part of your family forever. So you don't have to be the smartest or the most athletic family or the wealthiest or the most musically inclined. Everyone can enjoy the Elf on the Shelf tradition, and it is whatever you make it in your home. So when you adopt a scout elf, if your family is very laid back, your elf will likely be pretty chill. And if your family is uber creative and constantly on the go, the elf is probably going to be a little more creative in your home. And so it really is that simplicity and that authenticity, I think, that resonates with people for the past 20 years and now moving forward.
Yeah, speaking of moving forward, what I love about this is what started as such a simple tradition, as you just said, has really expanded and opened the door to the introduction of new characters, storylines, animated series, the list kind of goes on here, right, all through the Santaverse. So how do you see this world continuing to evolve and connect with families year round?
Well, this year we are launching our brand new first ever backstory of Santa Claus, a novel, right? That's not necessarily Christmas, the rise of Nicholas the Noble, and it's the whole backstory of Santa Claus and how he first meets the elves. For 20 years, we've been getting letters and emails and all the questions, phone calls from families who want to know more about the North Pole. And so the rise of Nicholas the Noble is that first sort of fantasy adventure novel for our older fans to sort of explore that. And then we've also launched Scout Elf Squad, our preschool show, which really introduces younger audiences to all of the characters of the Santaverse. And, in all of these years, we've had so many families who have now grown up with the elf. They love it. They can't wait to bring their children into the tradition at much younger ages. So serving up Scout Elf Squad for them on our official YouTube channel will be, I think, a pleasant surprise with lots of catchy songs. I think they are going to be like, oh, I cannot stop singing the songs.
They're earworms.
They are. They are earworms.
Yeah, two incredible ways that families get to stay connected with what you guys have built, which I love. Now, I know that you've got some incredible collaborations and partnerships in the works for this year. So can you tell us about the ones that maybe you're most excited about?
Absolutely. One of the ones I'm most excited about, and probably because it's so special, is that we have a 20th anniversary box set. And for the first time ever, we've partnered with Swarovski crystals. So the elf on the shelf could not resist getting into the crystals and adding a little bling to the 20th anniversary box set. It's a special limited edition. There are only 10 that have ever been made available for sale. And so that's something we've never done before. And it's really unique and it's special. But then we also have some other collaborations that have been incredibly fun. We've got one with beaches. So if you're ready to escape to the Caribbean, you can book an Elf on the Shelf suite.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Out. Yes. The elf is
decked
showing
up.
up in style for sure.
And they do even have Elf on the Shelf butlers that can welcome you and your family to the resort. We've got a partnership with Kinder for chocolates that are themed around the holiday season.
Great stocking stuffers.
And flips.
Flips. So yummy pretzels. We have Outright Games, which is our first ever console game, where kids can really interact with the elf and play on their favorite, device, Xbox, all the things. And I think for us, it's just this magical moment of celebration, 20 years, right? We had the balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and just getting a chance to celebrate with our fans through all of these stories. Razzle the Snowman is new. We have an actual 20th anniversary collector's edition box set. So just again, for us, it's about sharing like the fandom and the celebration of 20 years with all of these people who have just grown up loving the Elf on the Shelf.
Yeah. Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time. So many incredible things shared this morning. And hopefully this tradition is for years to come with families around the world. Thank you so much and happy holidays.
It's our pleasure. You too.
Happy holidays, Blake. Thanks.